you're level 2, like,
Right.
you find somebody at the local tavern or whatever.
He's been plowing lots of fields.
Yeah, there's somebody that, like, is willing to, join the cause or whatever.
So
Okay.
that's one thing in Seer's world in Iodadry. It's an epic world.
Mm-hmm.
Your bartenders, your innkeepers
Could be.
could be
Okay, we're back up.
most likely
Okay.
are high level, because how's a level 2 mage gonna keep a magic shop
Yep.
open?
Yeah. If I'm level 17,
still.
I'm going to rob that level 2 mage.
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to go somewhere where there's the stuff you want.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I think that, like, in Galarian, like, each town has that, like, level, like, stamped on it, right? Like in Sallow Shores in the Bloodlords campaign, right? That's like a level 4 or 5. It's a level 5 dwelling. So you're not going to find any items above level 5 there.
Right.
Well, that could be complicated if you ever want to go back, right?
Right.
If you go back at level 18, there's nothing there that's
If Lysander's like, I'm going to make this my home, and I end up at level 20, it'd be like, bro, you are living outside your means.
Hope you know somebody in the Carter's Consortium that can get you some stuff there.
Right. I happen to know a guy.
That's right.
Okay. Here we go.
Back to it.
Back to it. All right. Bess. You find yourself kneeling at an altar. A place that you've been many times before. As you pull yourself out of what everyone around you seems to be a prayer or just a moment of reverence, you look around a room. You see knightly figures clad in armor with weapons and shields. You hear their prayers. You also hear, unmistakably, that they're going unanswered. Though you've been here many times before, today is different. Very different. Give me a perception check.
22.
I think for the first time, you hear uncertainty in some of their voices. Borderline, may I even say, fear. One of the knights raises a long sword and slams it into the table. And light bursts from this sword. Though you're not intimately familiar with divine energy or dealings in godly things, this doesn't feel like that. It feels like an awakening, maybe a finding of oneself in the absence of the divine. The floor quakes underneath of you, and a squire bursts into the room. Squire looks you dead in the face and says, "Ma'am, the tyrant advances. The flame, it's dying." And then the knights pick up their armaments and file out of this room. This feels familiar to you. The ordered walk, the errant command, the shuffle of the undead bodies, as you stand looking at them, though they are very much alive, their mannerisms are very similar to the undead in the field. The command says, go here. The command says, fight that. The command says, today you die here. And the knights grab their things and shuffle off to do just that. You find yourself in that inner room where our knight friend went back to find her fallen companion. Again, this room is completely empty. And as you stand, not really sure what you're waiting on or what you're even doing in this room, these apparitions push through the wall as these ghosts of the last wall knights file into the room. One of them has dark brown hair, clad in armor with a shield and a long sword. Looks strikingly familiar to our friend here. And she says, everyone is going to forget us. We're going to die here today, and everyone is going to forget why we fought and why we died. You can change that, right? You can raise us, and we can continue to fight until no one forgets who we are.
Yes. And it would take away your fear.
This smile is exchanged between you
Sorry.
and the brown-haired knight that looks strikingly familiar to our friend. With a pulse of green energy that expands out from your feet, you watch as these apparitions of these ghosts of these knights take semi-translucent form, where they may have just been visions of the past or memories locked in a place to haunt people who find themselves in this tomb. Today they've been given new purpose. Today they fight with no fear. Today they find a conviction that was left unanswered when they needed her the most. And that brings you a little smile. Joseph. We find ourselves in a dark alley. Down this dark alley, there's a prisoner. Chained, eyes are closed. You presume, as you stand and look over him, that he's given up on life and he's probably just settled here to reach his demise. You have flashes in this moment of hands that are not yours, reaching down and unlocking the chains. You know nothing about this person. You know not what they've done. You don't know who they are. You just know that they're in shackles, chained, and in the alleyway. eyes pop open as he looks up at you. Ah. He just kind of shakes his head. You're not who I expected, but I feel like it's probably all the same. As this voice from this man sounds defeated, sounds broken. And he says, "We'll get on with it." And he kind of sits himself up against the wall and looks at you expecting.
Why are you here? Who chained you?
Does it matter to you why I'm here? Or why I'm chained? A prisoner is a prisoner is a prisoner is a prisoner, right?
Then off to prison with you.
No.
I would want to I don't want to just needlessly kill anyone.
Sure.
So I would lead him to authorities or the jail or whatever.
So you scoop this guy up and you have him in, like his manacles, and you kind of are leading him through the town.
Sure.
You take him to the constable, the prison, the jail, whatever it is that's there, and the guards are... We've been looking for him for weeks. He must have snuck back in the town, and they thank you and they shake your hand and they take him into the prison. We fast forward maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe it's 5 months. We find yourself in the same alleyway, only this time there are no children starving here. As a matter of fact, as you look up, you see massive guard patrols moving through the town. As you recall, before, you heard sounds of nightlife, like people in the bar, people in the tavern. You heard children probably getting taken, home to be with their parents, and the life of the town just kind of was there, radiating. Now you hear none of that. You hear guards walking. You hear the sounds of people being yelled at who are violating curfew. You hear the iron bars of cells slamming shut as that prison has been revitalized with new purpose. As the scene pulls back, this has become kind of a prison stronghold, one would say. A place that is meant to deprive people of their freedom. Not just any people, people who deserve it. This place is a place that is meant to fix things that are broken. And we find this guard captain sitting at a desk, all too familiar to you, who has inherited this position of power over this jurisdiction of incarceration. He says, just think what this place would have been if it had fallen into chaos. And he pulls a curtain open from his desk, looking out to the streets. We know all too well, these people probably would have starved to death without us being here. There definitely would have been any order, and this place would have fallen into chaos.
Freedom without order is chaos. Order without compassion is tyranny.
What do you have compassion on, Hell Knight?
Order and justice are necessary to keep society from falling into chaos, but what society is there if everyone is imprisoned? Freedom is still important.
He kind of sits up in his chair and he says, compassion is for people who dream about things that they can't do. And he says, order is what makes the sun rise. Order is what brings the wind. Order is what feeds these prisoners in that town. Compassion and freedom see them all dead.
Freedom and order can exist without oppression.
Are you saying that we just enslave to enslave? Because that would be oppression, right? To impress upon these people that live in this town out there that they're prisoners. These people are not prisoners. They just have order.
And you're saying this is the law?
It is the law because we make it so.
Then I'll just kind of gruff and then storm out.
Okay. That was really good. Look at you. Oof. The scene fades as this prison town. The camera kind of zooms out and you see as this place just grows and grows and grows and grows. And it gets to the point where you're hearing things across Galarian of this town finding the most minuscule things that you've done wrong, and you're just imprisoned as the answer. When order and justice partner with anarchy, compassion can surely not live there. Jacob.
Yes.
And Joseph. The crystal stands you face to face. And says, "What say you if I say one ideal must prevail? Who, then, should it be?" And you see, as the question kind of looms into the room, the two girls kind of vanish out of sight.
Yeah, I kind of, I'm like 8.5 feet tall, so
Yeah.
I kind of
Shadow, you
standing
block
there,
it,
just
blocking them. Yeah,
looking
blocking
down
them.
at them, and freedom, the law, justice, these bring us freedom. Order is freedom.
You say freedom should prevail. I don't want your freedom.
The crystal flashes just an errant kind of white color and says, "Freedom is freedom, just like prison or prisoners are prisoners, right? Who are you to define freedom?"
And who are the tyrannical powers that enslave the countless to define it? Diabolical leadership of Cheliax, you call them just because they say that no crime has been committed? Those people are free? They are not free. They live under tyranny, just as you said. There can be no freedom where there is tyranny.
It's not tyranny. It's law and order. Right?
Law and order are crucial to society, but a misguided order is tyranny, it's oppression. We need structure and order.
Sounds to me, then the crystal speaking, sounds to me like you need a strong leader. If misguided leadership leads to tyranny, what say you about your guilds or your factions? They have leaders, do they not?
They do. And they are well led. Ravenel is but a fledgling city-state. But I see great hope in its people.
Do all of them have freedom?
I can't say yes, but you have to understand that
The crystal kind of dims when you say I can't
Yeah.
say yes. And it says, in Cheliax, do they all have order?
I can't speak to that. We do what we can to squash rebellion and ensure order and justice are maintained, but you'll always have the unruly.
And it just kind of looks like the crystal kind of positions itself where you guys are looking through it.
Yeah.
And it goes crystalline clear so you guys can kind of see each other through this crystal. And it says, so freedom isn't free. And order isn't order. So why keep either of you?
the order that you claim. I do not know your order, but I know a Hell Knight when I see one.
I do not seek to rule others, only to ensure no one is ruled unjustly.
What you call justice. It's laws written in a book long ago by people that no longer understand the ones they govern.
And what you call freedom is chaos.
Call it chaos then. I will fight for it.
The lights fade. The two girls appear, standing next to the crystal. And it says, faith and mercy. Some say they are the same. I ask you that if only one could exist, would you rather have faith, or would you rather have mercy?
I would rather have mercy in every instance. Or it's the one thing that I can control. Faith. A man may have little faith, he may have all the faith in the world, but at the end we all must receive that mercy at the end of our lives.
The amount of faith depends on how much strength you have in your heart. If you are forever faithful, then your faith will be paid and just.
Yet it was mercy that met the soldiers.
But they carried their faith in battle on their shields. Proud and faithful.
But neither their pride nor their faith saved them. And they begged for mercy at the end.
Ugh. The crystal says, is mercy a religion?
No, because it will meet anyone, whether or not they believe in it.
Did those soldiers not beg for their God to answer them, just like they begged for mercy?
They did, but...
In this moment, the God that answers was mercy.
Mercy does not need you to believe in it for it to be there for you. It is given to all, eventually.
And faith exists as long as you hold it. And no matter what, humans and all others will carry faith in their hearts. You cannot snuff out mercy, and you cannot snuff out faith.
Have you seen your God, Knight?
I am not a god, so why would I deem to be in God's presences?
Have you seen the plow that plows the field?
Her presence is here, and her presence is eternal. Should she pass, her torch will be lifted by someone else. That is faith.
So Faith can exist without the divine instrument, and it's formed like a question. What then do you have faith in if the thing you have faith in doesn't exist?
Our purpose.
She gives purpose. Do you have faith in her?
She has to have faith in herself.
Do you not have faith in yourself?
I have immense faith in myself.
Does
So
that
it deems that faith was needed in all cases.
and the crystal kind of fades. And now all four of you stand in front of this crystal. And it says, tonight, by faith, by mercy, by freedom, or by order, you have found yourself here. But I assure you, the future of Galarian will be decided by the choices that you four make this evening. Can you have freedom without order? And can you have faith without mercy? Or can you have order without freedom? Or can you have mercy without faith? Likewise, can you have faith without freedom? Or can you have faith without order? Can you have order without mercy? Or can you have order without faith? Or freedom without mercy? Or freedom without faith? I implore you to walk down this path together if you wish, alone if you must. But remember, an idea can start a war just like a sword. And you, by and large, can't have one without the other, or many others. And the crystal just kind of goes dormant in color and just kind of goes empty.
Quickly kind of snap at it like, who are you to ask us to speak in absolutes? What is this?
It does nothing.
Well, as it asks, if we can have freedom without faith, I don't believe so. I'm a peddler in both faith and freedom. Faith is the hope of the future, the hope of the unknown, the hope of self, like decisions that you make on your own.
Order without freedom is not an order I'm interested in serving.
struggled with what you call freedom. The order that you serve has no mercy.
Order is mercy. Justice is mercy.
So you say.
As your words leave your mouth, the crystal burns red. And then the crystal shifts. And the red light returns. And it says, then, if you can't exist with his order, and his order can't exist with your freedom, as the light is just like blaring in your face, it says, then strike him down. Get rid of the order.
I would rather have absolute freedom, chaos as you call it, than order.
Your disobedience is noted.
I love that. Yeah, you're like towering over me.
Your disobedience is ordered.
But I meet your words. Yeah. I fought worse. My rapier has found the weak point in many an armor, even one of a Hell Knight.
You feel your blade get warm at your side. And the voice says, do what you must, then.
Do I hear
Yeah.
the crystal
Yeah.
say all this? And
Mhm.
I grasp my halberd and like my
Oh, you're like, yes, you're like the dog, like a dog, like stomping its.
not TV taps.
Oh,
Just kind of
okay.
almost like
Adjusting.
yeah.
Yeah,
adjusting my
bracing.
stance.
Oh, okay.
I won't strike, but I'm just
Yeah, my arms kind of go like out to my sides a bit. I don't reach for my rapier, but my arms kind of work out to my sides to kind of prepare my wings.
I believe we're about to see an exercise of mercy, not faith.
You call this mercy?
It will be for one.
Why? Why do you say that? Why is striking order a mercy? Why is striking down freedom a mercy?
Because then neither one has to suffer to defend their stance anymore, and we can move forward.
If laying down your purpose is a mercy, then it is weak.
Crystal turns yellow gold as the words from her faith emblazoned body, defending her faith against you. This crystal has come alive as she speaks in defense of her faith. The words in your head just are whispering, well then take him down. Well then take him down. And in your head you hear, well defend your faith. Defend your faith. Like all of the knights before you. Defend your faith then.
You see my head kind of cocked to one side and cock as I'm like looking up and down, looking for any minor weakness, any way I can get through this.
You hear Joseph. He beckons chaos. Anarchy is in his hands. His vision is so shallow, he doesn't understand what he does to people.
I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody so enslaved by freedom.
Oh my god. I can't switch colors fast enough. Yeah, have some green.
You're one to talk of mercy. I've seen what you do. I know little of the types of undead that you may create, but they are hardly who they once were. You say they ask for mercy. What you give them is not mercy.
Mercy is given whether I deal it out or not. I am not the ultimate giver or bringer of mercy. I just don't fear it.
But you fear faith and freedom and perhaps even order.
What is freedom and faith and mercy without a structure to define it?
What is any of our purposes without the other?
I will concede that some order is necessary.
The crystal burns blue.
Well, and mercy is the ultimate freedom.
As you say, mercy is the ultimate freedom. Crystal burns red. The sound of this chamber, as you guys are talking, you realize that you're posturing and getting yourself kind of to defend yourself. You can't hear your feet on the floor. You know they're on the floor, but you just can't hear that. All you can hear are your voice. Like you're almost like a disembodied voice when you're speaking. And you find yourself staring at this crystal and this heartbeat, and this crystal starts to pulse. And the crystal kind of goes from this like opaque, you can't see through, and it kind of clears. You see this like fog kind of drop out of the crystal. And you find yourself staring at this crystal, and you see your own reflection in the crystal. And you realize that as you're speaking, you hear your own voice, but the words that you're hearing in return, though Bess may be speaking, you're talking to yourself from the crystal.
Oh.
And you're speaking to yourself, good night, from the crystal. And you're speaking to yourself about freedom. You're speaking to yourself about faith and freedom and all of these other things. And the crystal lights with a blinding white light. And says, either kill each other and none of you exist, or figure out a way to where all of you can exist. And then this fog, about 5-foot emanation around this crystal, kind of fills the 5-foot squares next to the crystal, and like a radius kind of around it. It just kind of pours out and it stops like eerily in a 5-foot square like around it. You find yourself, as you look around, you are now encased on the inside of a cylinder in this room. That heartbeat is beating that you can hear like from this crystal, but you can feel it in your chest. And as you stand, some time passes, unless you're going to speak. Some time passes, and that fog emanates, and it spreads on the floor.
that fog is moving towards me, I'm gonna move away from it.
Okay.
So basically, just one big flap of my wings, I go flying across the room, like almost 20 feet.
Sure. The room is probably about 30 foot
Yeah.
away. So like the crystal's in the middle, and it's 30 foot. 30 foot.
So I'm like almost to the wall. Yeah.
And the room feels eerily cold. Like when when the crystal lights up, there's almost like kind of a warmth as your conviction is being shown to you. This feels like hollow and empty, and this crystal feels like it's kind of pulling all of the heat into itself.
Ugh.
And this chamber feels eerily cold and isolating. You don't see each other. All you see is the crystal with your reflection talking to yourself as your compatriots speak to you, if they're going to speak to you.
So, I hear my reflection speaking to me about the importance of freedom.
Yes.
So, in spite of the fog, I'm just like almost my stoic demeanor breaks a little bit, and I'm just very confused. And I almost like slowly just kind of like clock towards it to look and see, like, is this really me? Like, what is happening?
So you clop toward this crystal. What's your intention? Just to kind of investigate this thing?
It's almost like it has me just fascinated.
Okay.
With...
So your intention isn't to like go like punch this crystal or smash it or anything like that. So you walk.
Understand.
Yeah, you walk right through that fog and it doesn't do anything to you. You walk right up to that crystal and you are looking at the crystal and you kind of like move your head and do the things that you do. You're like, oh, and the thing is doing the same thing back to you in the crystal, like you're looking at a mirror. And as you look, now that you're right up on this thing, your perspective is much closer. You're looking at yourself standing in whatever vision you had at the beginning, where you were standing in the street with the guards, and you're standing kind of in that scene that's been kind of portrayed behind you, as if someone has like just put a camera on you and you spun around and you've been having this dialogue with yourself. You know that moment from the beginning was an actual memory from your past. So you could ascertain that your past self is speaking to yourself through the crystal, but it's just saying things that you know that you just wouldn't say. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Realizing that, I almost just like step back a couple feet.
Okay. The figure looks at you expectantly, kind of like when you walk into a room and you have like maybe a child or someone in the room that looks like, oh, you're going to say something, like you kind of walked in the room and everything just kind of stops and goes. So this figure that looks like you kind of clop back and it just kind of looks at you like it's expecting you to say something.
I'll say, what is society without order?
What is freedom without order?
And I'll just kind of like step back at that again.
And it says, just kind of in a very quiet, almost like childlike voice, like whatever you sounded like as a kid, says, can you have order without freedom?
And that kind of stoic demeanor returns, and I just kind of just watch.
Okay.
Why us? I mean, I find it interesting that it's us, and we're supposed to pick one.
Can you pick one?
I mean, I feel as this entity is telling us we must, but who is this entity, and...
What this crystal asks of us is to abandon the causes we've devoted our lives to. And as I'm kind of saying, I'm disguising that I've now knelt down with my arbalist, and I'm slowly cranking it. Okay.
Okay.
Why would we abandon the causes that we've spent our whole life furthering?
The voice in the crystal looking at you says, "Do you know faith?"
I know freedom, and I know hope.
Do you know mercy?
I know that mercy is not given under tyrannical order.
Do you know order?
I know it, and I hate it.
Funny you speak so definitely on the thing you hate the most.
I can abide by faith. As I said,
But can you defend it?
I can.
Like you hate order?
Perhaps, with almost the same fervor. I say keep the three.
So do you stand for freedom or do you stand for no order?
Stand for freedom, of course.
Do you? Your secondary fervor? Sounds to me like you stand for no order. And this is you talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah.
you're speaking to yourself.
I'm almost like the words are hitting, and I flash back to that moment of seeing all those children, seeing them starving, and seeing the anarchy and what the result of that was, and but flashing back to the firebrands and the silver ravens that I've served, and all of the missions we've gone on to free people from tyranny. Surely that cause is just. Surely we've made a positive impact. Sure, some chaos has been created, but I revel in the chaos. And this darkness kind of hits me like, is it the chaos that I've been seeking, not the freedom?
Are you defined by the freedom or are you defined by the lack of order? Right?
I think I revel in the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all order is tyranny.
Not all freedom is chaos.
It is when you paint with big brushes, though, right?
Perhaps we are trying to subdivide the sand, where it's all sand, but it's made up of pieces of rocks and shells, and maybe there is no whole without the parts.
I reflect on, the memory I see in the crystal.
Okay.
It's all these prisoners in the street, like being taken. It's families being separated, in the name of order and justice and law. And I reflect on, the words of the night that freedom, like order doesn't need to exist without freedom, and I also remember my upbringing and my training to be a Hell Knight, and how much work I've spent studying the books,
The codex.
yes,
The laws.
the laws, and surely this is just. And I kind of look around at the room at the others, and I'll say, if this is for the fate of Galarian, then And I'll, like, take the book off my belt. If this is for the fate of Galarian and for the order of the world, I think I can deal with a little chaos if it means a greater order in the end. And I'll suffer for that. But I'll take that punishment. And pain reminds me of my cause.
The measure that you abide by is Chilaxian. I've been places you couldn't even fathom. The leadership and lack thereof is worlds apart from the narrow-minded imperialists.
But that's not you. Right? Like, you aren't those guys that he necessarily fights against. You may be a Hell Knight, but you're not those guys.
I'm willing, for the fate of Galarian, what is a society without order, and freedom, and faith, and mercy?
But what do we want to accomplish with those? I mean, maybe... I know I follow mercy because I want to end fear and suffering. Why do you follow order or faith or freedom?
To lift the downtrodden.
What is faith but just order?
But what is faith if not mercy as well?
What is faith without the freedom to choose not to do it?
What is freedom without mercy?
Can you define these ideals without each other?
I agree with the Hell Knight. The four must stay. They can't have one without the other.
The order that I've seen is the order that I despise. But I can see that we do need some order by those that care for the people they govern and protect them. If this crystal needs to maintain only one of these four ideals, I think Galarian is in grave danger, no matter the one it chooses. Can we seek balance? How can we four decide it?
When you say, can we seek balance? The light.
Oof.
Crystal clear, white light fills the room, and that fog creeps back closer to the crystal.
I'll step up. I'm still holding my loaded arbalist, but I will step closer to the light, kind of perplexed, like.
As you stepping forward with the idea of balance in your mind, you look into the crystal, and I think for the first time you see the Hell Knight in the crystal.
I would imagine seeing it light up like that, I would move in closer as well.
I think for the first time when you look in the crystal, you see the firebrand Tengu in the crystal.
And there goes.
Yeah. Well, boys, I hope it was fun. Yeah.
I'll I look through the crystal and I see him, and I'm holding my halberd right, and I'll take it and I'll just, with one hand, and just set it down, and just kind of nod.
I see you nod and set your arm down. And
Literally just takes it off, sets his arm down.
yeah, just-
I know that's what you were thinking.
I will raise my arbalist to meet you. Kind of hold it, and again cock that eye sideways with one eye pointing out, and kind of look you over for that weakness, that one place that I can place a bolt. And again, like that guilt, that pain of the children. I just close my eyes and then raise the arbalist high, fire into the ceiling above me, and then place the arbalist on the ground, or basically just let it clatter.
That crystal blasts with white light. Madam Knight, upon speaking of working things in unity and trying to find a cohesiveness where these things can exist, I think in this moment, again, the first time I think you look across and you see our whispering away friend standing there, speaking clearly of just the mercy of what she offers. And I think you see her speaking of the devotion of faith and what that has to offer. And this crystal flashes again with this blinding white light, just as you guys approach this crystal. An opaque handprint appears on the face of the crystal, like someone has pressed their hand on the inside.
I'm going to approach and place my hand.
When you place your hand on the crystal, you guys see.
I had the same idea as she did.
You guys can do it together if you want. Okay, you guys approach the crystal, and almost in unison, you guys see each other again in the same room. You guys haven't been in the same room since the beginning. You guys almost just like they've evaporated into the room. You see these two approach the crystal on opposite sides and press their hand into the crystal. And then they vanish. And the crystal flashes. And then you see a handprint on the crystal. And as you're staring and looking at it, you can tell this is crystal, like it's hard, like a rock. But as you look at it, it almost looks like this hand is like pressing on a film,
Like stretching
like
out towards
stretching
you.
out
Ugh.
from this crystal.
I think this understanding just washes over me. Like I know what I need to do. But there's
You
there's a
two ladies, as you press your hand into the crystal, instantly you're taken to a room, looks exactly the same. Your two hands are touched together. You two are standing, this hand pressed out on this crystal.
Yeah, I'll kind of like, look down at it and kind of look at him and kind of nod again. And I'll step forward and reach my hand. I'm guessing out and down.
Yeah, yes.
Dang it, I was gonna say the same thing that I was like, but
Should have been like a.
if I was playing a halfling, it would be
There's a way.
it'd be
No.
impossible. But yeah, I see the hand, and I know what I must do.
So you can see him in the crystal.
Okay.
He walks up to the crystal and he puts his hand on the crystal. You can see it. The hand that presses through the crystal is much larger than it looked before.
There's still this fragment in my mind. That this is not what you want.
Right.
You don't want trap. You want chaos. You don't want order.
Right.
But then, a larger part of my brain sort of overrides that to say, no, we must seek balance, especially in times as dark as these. And I will, step forward and reach. Basically, press my hand to where it's pressing out and meet hands. And of course, I feel that hand up above my head. But
So when your hands touch, you're instantly teleported to the same room that the girls are in. The girls are standing, like, think east-west
Mm-hmm.
with their hands touching. You guys are standing north-south with your hands touching underneath of theirs. And this radiant light, white light, shoots between your hands.
Whoa.
And your instinct is to, like, yank away.
Mm-hmm.
But your hands won't come apart.
Oh, okay.
The light...
No, I grab her fingers.
Oh, so the knight wraps her fingers around our Whispering Way, and this light fuses through their hands and lights up this giant, like, crystal in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that moment, whether you guys clasp hands or you just keep your hands flat against each other, you get the sense that whatever is binding your hands is no longer there. If you wanted to move your hands, you can.
I think seeing that like rush of light, you can see like off of the dark, almost iridescent feathers. Just like usually that dark plumage does not reflect much light at all. It's like inky black almost. And you can see that light, you know, pierce through, you know, some of the gaps in the plumage, like, and kind of I noticed that myself of it just blasting through,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled my hand away.
You pull your hand back, and he pulls his hand off of yours. The light slowly kind of trickles back down into the crevice of the floor where the light was coming from. We're taken back to a dark alley with a man in a hood. Only this time, when you look around, you see 3 other people standing beside you. You turn down the alleyway to a man in chains. His eyes are closed. He doesn't know you're there. What do you do?
Look to the people beside me. Is it?
These 3 are standing beside you.
I'll kind of look to them to advance together.
Okay. Do you guys follow him?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll approach the man in shackles and kind of just stand over him and hope he acknowledges us.
He opens his eyes and he looks at you and he says, "Ah, you. I've been expecting you." And he kind of looks at you, and then he kind of looks at him, and then he looks at her, and then he looks at her. And then he holds his hands up.
How can we treat this man with mercy and faith and order and freedom?
First, we must know why he is chained.
He looks at you. When your tone and your soft heart kind of demeanor asks or implies that you need to know what happened, he says, "I was sold into these shackles. To pay a debt that my father could never pay. And he looks. He says, "I've lived a good life, even though I've been..." And he kind of looks at the shackles. "I've been well fed. I've been decently cared after. I've had a home." He says, "I find myself here because my master sold me to someone new to pay a debt that he couldn't pay.
As soon as he raises his hands, I'm almost instinctively studying the lock and thinking
Yeah.
what tools I can get out to rake it open and get him out of here.
Yeah. And he says, my current master is not so kind. But before, I was well maintained and well taken care of. Maybe freedom is the answer. Or maybe having a little faith that the system will come through. Or maybe I just need some mercy at the end. Maybe I just trust in the order. That I too can earn my freedom.
I look to my Hell Knight companion. Surely there is some order that prevents the abuse of those indebted to them.
And echoing what I said earlier, I'll say order without compassion is tyranny.
Aye, it is.
He stands and takes his hands and he turns them toward the Hell Knight.
I would I don't know, find some way to smash them, break them. Or I would imagine I would have manacles.
key?
So I would have a key.
Yep.
And I would just
And the manacles will fall to the ground, making the jangling sound as the all too familiar the sound of manacles hitting the concrete. The man smiles and says, "Well, that was unexpected." And the scene fades to black. You find yourself standing before the crystal. The crystal is luminous in white light. And the voice says, "Freedom cannot exist without order. Order does not exist without faith. Faith doesn't exist without mercy," and it works its way around. And as it claims your ideal, the light turns the color that you saw at the beginning. Till eventually this crystal is almost iridescent in color, completely covered with all of the colors that you can see through the spectrum, like a little pyramid, like the little, the rainbow. And this crystal shatters in a crack, and 4 pieces fall. Pink, 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 pink. And the crystal rests at your feet in 4 pieces. As you stare at the crystal, it is slowly pulsing all 4 different colors as a gem. It's probably about yay big. And it's flashing between red and gold and blue and green. And then there's like an awkward pause, and then it flashes white. And then it kind of burns like a lantern, and it stays white.
I'll pick the piece up at my feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll kneel my front legs so that I can bend over and reach, and I'll just hold it up and look at it.
As you pick this crystal up, if you're going to pick it up, you hold it in your hand. It feels eerily light for the size of the. I mean, it's a big chunk, right? So it's eerily light. It's warm. It's luminescent, so it's putting off light. And as you grab it, the voice in your head says, humanity forms ideas. Ideas don't shape humanity. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh man.
Dude.
So good. I want to like stand up in class because like, man.
Hey, thank you very much for coming on this little roller coaster. I know it was pretty heavy, and I hope that that was okay. We'll kind of play it by ear where we go next Monday. If our esteemed leader is back, we'll be right back at it at Bloodlords right here at 6:30 on Monday. If he is not, if he is still using his unapproved time off, I guess / approved time off, we will maybe explore a little adventures with these four. We'll pick up something, maybe have a little combat, a little skirmish, a little story, a little more lighthearted than what this is.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming along the adventure this evening. These guys, I mean, if I could stand up and give a standing ovation round of applause, these guys did a phenomenal job. Again, I just want to reiterate, these guys did not have these characters in their hands until Saturday, and then the information about them didn't even get to them until Sunday, like the backgrounds and all that stuff. So, you guys knocked it out of the park.
We are flying by the seat of our pants right now.
You guys did so great. So thank you guys very much for coming along the ride. Tune in tomorrow at 6, right here on this channel for the Soul Severed campaign in a homebrew world of Iota Dree, where the Seer is going to probably try to, attempt to kill us. She almost got it. She almost got some of us last week. Oof. It was some of us were down to like 12 hit points. Not me, but some others.
not several.
Yeah. But just tune right in here at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow, and then I don't think Barnabas will be on for Barnabas Brushes, but he will be back in a couple of weeks, so we will make sure you get informed as to when he comes back. Man, I'm so...
Laura needs you to do the raid.
That, and don't forget our tier 3 sub.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, so let me talk about that real quick. On the Soul Severed campaign, we are, I don't know where the idea actually came from. It was probably my weird idea, but if we get 7, what was 7, right? If we get 7 tier 3 subscriptions between now and the end of December, the 22nd, if we get 7 of those on the last episode of the year,
which is the 30th?
We will have Soul Severed a la Bard Vision. Think if Disney combined with a TTRPG. Yeah, not sponsored. We love you. Don't sue us.
But they could be tier 3 subscribers.
100%. Check us out on.
We've got at least 2.
Tuesday the 30th.
Laura subbed, and we had another one the first night.
So we need at least 5 more.
Yes, we need 5 more.
Yes.
5 more tier
Can't
3
wait.
subs, and it'll be musical /
So
Bard Vision.
yeah. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Right. So we're not going to sing the entire episode, right? I'm not going to be like, I walk into the bar. That's not happening. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. But
3
there will.
hours of that could be tough.
Yeah. There will be.
That was pretty nice.
Thanks. There will be strategic or unstrategic moments where the cast will be encouraged to think of a song that will fit in the moment.
like it.
Right? So, it may be songs it may be things we make up on the fly, it may be stuff you don't know, but if it fits, it sits, they say if you own a cat. So, I think it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a great time. So if you want to see that happen, hit that sub button and drop in at tier 3, and we'll get that counted. And when we get to 7, we're going to have some Bard Vision, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Man,
Thanks, everybody, for
thank you
watching.
guys so much.
Yeah.
And I got to find a raid real quick because Laura's got to go to a meeting I don't know who has a meeting at 9:30 our time.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds real
6:30
terrible.
Their time.
30.
Yeah, well, okay.
6:30 is still not a good time to be going to a meeting.
Yeah, correct. No one wants that.
Oh.
I don't think you count, Seer.
Well, great job, absolutely everybody tonight.
Oh, dude.
I've got to say, I was really impressed with the acting chops that were pulled out.
I agree.
See, it wasn't as hard as you thought it was gonna be.
Bess, how many times was I just left speechless when Bess said something and I was like, I can't really say anything about to that.
Dude, I can't
How do I
tell you
follow
the
that up?
number of times that anyone said something that I was like, oh.
Oh, I know.
Gosh.
There were some zingers for sure.
Every single one of y'all did something at some point in the night where I was just like, that was amazing.
Well,
For characters
Bess.
that we don't really know, and
Good job.
for organizations and ideologies that
Joseph,
we only really have
for
a
real.
cursory
It
understanding
was
of,
good.
we crushed it.
Oh.
I think.
okay. I started the raid. Somewhere is the raid
Countdown?
call. I'm not exactly sure.
It's there.
Is it there?
I see it.
Great.
We're raiding Slayer Case.
Yeah, let's go. Everyone copy that raid call. And thank you so much for coming. It was a
Yep.
blast. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys in the next one.
See ya!